Hey, it's Monday night, and I'm tired. I'm tired. Um, you may be asking yourself, why am I wearing a pink shirt? And I would respond by saying, why are you not wearing a pink shirt? It's a legitimate question. I never know how to start these videos. I don't know, how am I supposed to start videos? I'm not a professional video maker person. I don't know. It's weird. You watch a lot of like the standard videos that OCCC puts out, and they're just awkward. They're just a little off, right? And I don't know what it is, and I try not to do that, but I don't know what to do to start things off. So, hello. Let's try that. Let's try hello. Okay, okay. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time tonight. We have a lot to get through, and I'm really going to try to keep this video short, and I've already wasted needless time anyway. So, okay, hello. I'm sorry it's taken me a few days to get this video out. There's been a lot going on, but I'm getting it out now, and then I'm going to turn around and start grading things, and I hope to have everything graded tonight up to this point so you have an idea of where you stand. I think that's important. But for right now, I want to talk about the assignments that are due this week, and I want to talk about the citation for the essay. You might see my cat here. She's very interested in me right now. So let's do that. Let's get started. We're on week 5. Can you see her? You can't see her? Here. Say hello, cat. Hello. Okay. All right, so we're on week 5. So this is week 5. Let's look through this real quick. If you didn't know, if you weren't aware, our essay 2, the big essay, the second of our 3 major essays, is due this week. Say it isn't so. Please, no, don't do this to me. Don't do it to me. It's due this week. So we need to do a few things to wrap that up. The first is an assignment here called the guided drafting, right? So what this is, it's all of these little miniature assignments are just practice, or just getting you towards that final product of your essay, and this is no different. If you are a little bit confused about this essay, this assignment, here is the assignment here, but if you scroll up just a little bit, you can see right here, here's the assignment sheet for it. Guided drafting your essay 2, and that's this. Zoom in a little bit. So basically what this is we are putting the information we already have in this format, in this kind of an outline format, right? Ensure you follow this document so your essay has the appropriate content and organization. This is not the only way to organize an informative essay, but I think it's good practice to put your information in this form. So let's try that. That's not to say that your final product must be in this organization, this form, this appearance. But for this little assignment, let's do that. So we have the introduction where we grab the reader's attention, right, with the hook. We need to make them interested right away. We state our belief, whatever our topic is, and then we give our thesis statement here. And remember, this is not an argumentative paper. We're not making a stand. We're not making an argument. We're only providing facts. So if you say, I don't know, if you say that, I'm so burned out, I can't think. If you say that art class is necessary for middle school students and should be incorporated into every school in the country, well, that's making a point. That's making an argument. You're trying to convince something that is true. Instead, what you should do is gather information about art classes and their benefits in the curriculum, and maybe some challenges that they have, right? Art classes require supplies and things. It's not free. So you can provide all of that evidence that you've gathered to your reader and let your reader make the decision on their own. Okay, so we're going to define any terms within the belief. this is important, especially if we're talking about like specified topics that use certain language, jargon, technical speak that most people just aren't familiar with. Anytime you come across terms like that, you need to tell the reader what they mean. That's not to say Webster's dictionary defines love as bleh, because we don't want to do that anymore because we're grown-up people. But if you're talking, like if I was writing a paper about the oil and gas business and I talked about the Pew Clause, if I was talking about the horizontal Pew Clause, P-U-G-H, the Pew Clause, nobody knows what the hell a Pew Clause is. But if I explain it to you, then you understand. Then you can follow along with what I'm saying. All right. So again, in this format for this assignment, we need to provide a paragraph for each of our major points, preferably 3. Analysis here: provide evidence to support the statement. Provide a statement that compares the compare and contrast of your experiences and your research. And then conclusion: draw a conclusion about the research. I guess so. This whole time I've been telling you not to make a statement. This call to action here, it's not exactly an argument. Let's say I was writing about recycling, and I was talking about e-waste recycling, electronic waste recycling, and at the very end I say, electronic waste recycling is a problem, and it's only going to get worse as things go forward, and it's really something we should be paying attention to and take care of, right? That's not really, I'm not really making an argument there. I'm just saying, hey, all of the evidence that I've gathered says that this is kind of a big deal, so maybe we should pay attention to it. Okay, so let's go to the assignment itself. Using the guided drafting documents for Essay 2, post your draft here. You should have both parts of the guided drafting finished before you submit your essay, right? So that's the introduction, thesis, in one body paragraph, and then the rest of your body paragraphs in the conclusion. So if you do both parts, put them together, and then submit it here, you'll have it. As far as length is concerned, I would say no more than 2 pages. I mean, this doesn't have to be substantial. 1 page is probably not enough, but a little bit more than 1 page, maybe like a page and a paragraph or a page and a half would be fine. Be fine for this. All right, so that's our first activity. This is due, again, due dates. This is due, what is today, the 14th? Thursday. This is due Thursday, this coming Thursday by midnight. Don't forget what? Thursday. Don't forget Thursday. The second of our activities this week is reviewing the informative essay. So again, if we were in class together, we would be participating in peer reviews. We would all bring hard copies of our essay. We would sit in little groups and we would share them around the table and read them and then give constructive feedback. I like this, I didn't like this, this is confusing, this doesn't work, this works, this is great, those kinds of things. So since we're not face-to-face or in the same room together, we have to do it like this. You will participate in a peer review. Post your rough draft of your own essay so your classmates can read it and offer feedback. Ask specific questions to your peers related to the areas in which you are struggling. When you post your draft, you will be aware of some parts of the paper you're not happy with, right? You think, that doesn't sound right, or that's not really what I meant, or this, I don't know what I was thinking here. So call that out. Say, for anyone reading my paper, pay special attention to this part and give me some tips on how I might rework it or make it better. Give constructive feedback to at least 2 of your classmates. Constructive feedback means this paper was great, but you used the word just too much, or you used, your sentences are way too short, it's very choppy, or your sentences are way too long. You need to break those up, or you need to have more paragraphs to make it easier to read, or you spelled some words wrong, or you used some prepositions wrong or some phrases wrong, or even just like your information is incomplete. I really think you need to add some more support to your topic. You didn't You didn't give me enough information about your thesis for me to make a judgment on on your topic, right? You didn't tell me enough about e-waste recycling and why it's important for me to really care. So constructive feedback is not, it was great, I liked it. Good job. That's not constructive feedback. We need some tips. And I know I can hear some of you saying right now, I can hear it through my little camera, some of you saying that on Essay 1, I gave some comments that said, great paper, good job. That's not going to happen this time. That was for our initial narrative essay. This essay brings in some more complicated factors, and I'll give you some much better comments this time. And then submit it to Echo, right? So that is the online writing lab. That is the tutoring service that OCCC has. And if we go back to our Moodle page, scroll down here, it's right here beneath this, actually between these two assignments, these two activities. Echo online tutoring request. So you just click there. It takes you to this page, the Writing Center. And gosh, I haven't done this in a while myself. Let's see here. Instructor resources? No. Oh, okay. Over here on the left, click the down arrow on next to Echo 2.0 Online Writing Tutoring and click Online Tutoring Request Form. You click that. It's going to bring you here. Fill out this information, upload your paper, and they are usually very good. They're usually very quick to get back with us. I mean, I'm talking same day sometimes, usually within 24 hours. This is all due by Thursday, including, no. This and the rough draft. So the peer review and the rough draft for Echo are due Thursday. If you want to make sure that you get some response from the Writing Center before you turn your paper in on Saturday, you could submit it to Echo on Wednesday or tomorrow or sometime sooner. And then the two responses on this peer review are due by Saturday. Yeah, due by Saturday. Okay? So, guided drafting activities due Thursday. The peer review is due Thursday. The rough draft review for Echo is due Thursday. And then your responses to the informative essay, the peer review, are due Saturday. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now, let's move on to some more interesting things. And again, I put this up here. So this is the same thing that we looked at for Essay 1. This is the helpful hints and revision checklist. I think that you don't have to print it out, but I think you should use this on every one of your major essays. Go through this line by line and make sure that your essay matches what it asks for here. It's going to catch a lot of your errors. Okay, so that's on there as well. All right. So if we remember, where is it? Let's see. Where is that assignment sheet? It's on here somewhere. Yeah. No. What's happening? That's not right. The next one. The next one. Yeah. Got it. If we remember, this essay will be in MLA format. It'll be 2 to 3 pages, not including the works cited page. The works cited page, which everyone will need to have. If your paper is missing a works cited page, you are going to lose points. That is wrong. In-text citations in the body of the essay we'll talk about in a second. And then a works cited page with a minimum of 3 sources. 3. Count on 1, 2, 3. 3 sources. So, 2 things I want to talk about now. I want to talk about in-text citation. I want to talk about the works cited page. Let's go over the works cited page first. So here here is the basic format of a works cited page. Oh, hang on, I'm missing something here. Hang on. Stand by. Bam. Bam, done. Okay. Here is the works cited page. I made this a few minutes ago, just some random things that I pulled down. Some things to notice on this works cited page. It is all double spaced, as the whole of your paper should be. It is not numbered. There are no numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your sources. And it's in what's called hanging indent. What that means is the very first line of each entry is all the way to the left, and then every line for that entry below it is indented over. Like this, like this, like this, right? And what that does, it allows the reader to find your sources a little easier as they're going through here. Okay? So this is it. I will talk about how to get these here in just a sec. But first, let's look at this. In-text citation. So what does that mean? When you make a quote, you put a quote in your paper, you say, John Smith says in his journal that, wow, this new American land has really big mosquitoes. Period. Okay. So that is a quote. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this to make it a little easier. That is a quote. That's not my line. I didn't say that. John Smith said that. So how am I going to tell the reader who said this? Well, it depends on what kind of source it comes from. Let's imagine that it comes from a book. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. Let's imagine it comes from a book written by Roscoe P. Coltrane. Do we know who Roscoe P. Coltrane is? Roscoe P. Coltrane. Roscoe P. Coltrane with an E. With an E. With no E there. He was the sheriff on the Dukes of Hazzard. Roscoe P. Coltrane. That's a great name. So he wrote a book about John Smith, apparently. And we need to tell the reader that this quote came from that book. So, for books, it's very, very simple. All we need, if we look here on Owl Purdue, again, Owl Purdue, scroll down here, in-text citations for print sources with known author. That's us. Human beings are described, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's do this one here. So we have the last name of the author and the page number it appears on. That's it. That's all we need. 47. Now 42 for all you Hitchhiker fans. That's it. That's all we've done. Now, if did you notice what I did? Did you pay attention to what I did? There was a period here, and I took that out. Why did I take that out? Because if we have a citation, we have an in-text citation, we don't want it just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. We don't want it suspended between sentences. We need it part of the sentence that it's referring to. And so we move the punctuation from here to the end of the sentence after the parenthetical. Okay? There's another way to cite this. Roscoe P. Coltrane famously said about John Smith, wow, this new American land has really big mosquitoes. Okay. Don't do that. I don't like this reading. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? How do I get that off? I don't want that. No, I don't want that either. That's worse. Hold on. What is that? Thank you. Okay. There we go. Okay. we're back. I can calm down. So in this case, in this example here, we don't need this parenthetical citation because you've told me who said it. You told me who said it. Now we do need, if it's a book, we do need the page that it appears on. But let's pretend now that this is a website, right? We're no longer at a book, now we're at a website. Websites don't have page numbers. A lot of websites don't have authors, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But let's imagine this one did. Roscoe P. Coltrane was alive today, and he wrote a web article about John Smith. And he said this. There you go. You've told me who said it. That's it. End of citation. So what that allows me to do is look at this Coltrane, go to your Works Cited page, and find out exactly where it came from. Let's imagine, imagine one of these was Coltrane, right, like that. Now I don't remember what it was. What was it? No. Darrell, that's right. That's right, it was Darrell. So let's imagine it was Monroe. So now I can go here, the first line. Oh, there it is. Hang on. Also, needs to be in alphabetical order. There we go. D, F, M, W. There we go. Okay. So, if we're quoting a book, if we're citing a book, this is the form that it would take. That's the form it would take. If we're citing a website, so there's a couple cases about websites. Let's imagine we have a website. Let's go to local news. Let's go to OU researcher study student housing wastewater. Ooh, wastewater. Toilet water. That's it. Okay, I like this. I like where we're going now. So, this was written by Cassandra Sweetman. It was posted 9/14/2020. So this article would have an author. We would know the writer of that article. So we would say OU is currently studying the wastewater in student housing for evidence of coronavirus. Well, I can't type tonight. Good Lord. Transmission. Okay. I don't know. Let's do that. Let's pretend. I don't want to do that. That's you don't want to cite one word. You don't want to quote one word. That's terrible. Let's see what she says here. Here we go. Perfect. That sample can reveal to researchers critical information. Now, we need to change it to match the font and size of the rest of our paper. Let's do that. Okay. There we go. So, websites don't have page numbers. All we need is the author's name. And what that allows us to do is go to our Works Cited page, find Sweetman, and we can go straight to that article and read the thing for ourselves. If you have an article with no author, let's use the same thing. And let's pretend there's no author here. What do? Well, instead, we use the name of the article, but not the whole name, because usually they're pretty long like this. So what I would use for this is just OU researchers. Put it in quotation marks, OU researchers. Titles of articles or magazines or things are put in quotation marks like that. So I have this, and we don't have the author, but I have the name. You go to the Works Cited page and you find the article like this that's titled OU researchers blah, 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 and you think, well, that's it. I'll go read it there. Okay, so for books, we have 2 examples here. For websites, we have 2 examples here. And then for databases, databases are going to be quite similar to websites. They're going to look a little bit different on the Works Cited page. Let's look at the Works Cited page real quick. So, right here in the middle, I have Works Cited. That's all you need. Not bolded, not underlined, not all capitals, just like this, Works Cited. We have our list in alphabetical order with no numbering. Let's look at this first one here. This is a Washington Post article about Hurricane Sally. So this article here, let me see if I can pull it up. Actually, I had it up here a second ago. Why do we put the URL on the citation? For this reason, right here. Okay. Tropical Storm Sally. So for this article, we have authors. Actually, we have 3 authors. Stop it, stop it, stop it. 3 authors for this essay. How do we do 3 authors? Well, if you go to Al Purdue and you go down here to MLA Works Cited Electronic Sources and you scroll down to here, a page on a website. That's what we're doing. It's an article, it's a page on the Washington Post website. Here's one for 1 author. Here is one for no author. And they don't give an example of multiple authors. But there is an example over here in books. Book with more than 1 author, right? So here's an example if you have 2 authors. We have the last name and the first name of the first author and the first name and last name of the second. It's a little tricky, but you take the first author and you flip their name around. Flip their name around. I'm not sure how you... It's reversed. It's mirrored on your screen. Flip the name around. And then for the second name, you don't. So it's last name first and first name, last name. Unless you have more than 2, like we have right here. This has 3 authors on it. So we're going to use a little Latin. We're going to learn a little Latin tonight. So we have Daryl Fears. And again, hang on. No. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Should be. I hope you caught me. I hope you caught me. Daryl Fears Daryl, comma, et al. Et al is Latin for and others. It just means and more. So that will cover all your other authors here. We'll put the name of the article in quotation marks here. And pay very close attention to periods. MLA is very particular about its periods and where they go. You'll notice there's a period after every segment of this citation. There's a period after the names. There's a period after the title. There's a period after the URL down here at the very end. So don't forget your periods. We have the title of the website in italics. We have the publisher of the website in just normal font. We have the date that page was published. If possible, sometimes these pages don't have dates on them, and if they don't, you can just leave this part out. And then we have the full URL, which really should have the HTTP is on it as well. Is HTTPS? It is S, yeah. S is secure. HTTPS is secure website. Okay? So there is the citation for this website. I would get a quote from it, and up in my paper, it would look like this. It would look like this. Sweetman et al. Or in this case, Fears et al. Okay? The next one. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air mention is added to Airbnb for $30. So if you'd like to take a moment, just sit right there. I'll tell you how you can rent the Fresh Prince house for $30 in Bel-Air. Are you too young for that show? Do you know that show? Please tell me you're not too young for that show. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Carlton. You know the okay. We don't have time for this. Shut up. We don't have time for this. So this article did not have an author on it. So We start with the name of the article, again in quotation marks, ended with a period, you see. We have the title of the website in italics. We have the publisher of the website. Hang on, I'll get to the publisher in a second. We have the date it was published, and we have the full URL, again, including HTTPS and www for completion's sake. All right. So here's a website with an author. Here's a website without an author. Here is a book. This is this book. It's a collection of short stories. Alice Munro is one of my favorite authors. If you ever get the chance to read, she has a short story called Walker Brothers Cowboy. Walker, as in walking. Walker, Texas Ranger. Walker Brothers Cowboy. It's fantastic. I love this story so much. So here's a book from her, A Wilderness Station, Selected Stories, published by Vintage Books, a division of Penguin Random House, blah, 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 and then the year it was published. Previously, in previous versions of MLA, we had to put the type of publication, like print or magazine or website. We don't have to do that anymore. Just need the date. So that's a book with an author. And then this, I thought, I wanted to put this one on there at the end because this is a database. Let me add this over to this screen here. Can you see this? Can you see this? I think you can see this. Have you ever heard of spontaneous human combustion? It's fascinating. I'm pretty sure it's not real. I'm really close to convincing myself it's not real, but it's fascinating that some people can just catch on fire from the inside just naturally. Like, oops, now I'm on fire and I'm dead. That's crazy. Anyway, so this is an article about spontaneous human combustion. We have an author here. We have the source from the Contemporary Review in 2012. For database sources, we're going to need all this information right here. The month and the year. We need the volume and the issue number and the pages, those type of things. We'll need all that. And if we will remember, citing databases is very easy because it does it for us, right? So this is my results list. What? Why did you do that? Don't do that. I was logged in 5 freaking minutes ago. What are you doing? Okay, just hang on 1 second and master file Premiere, we go and we type in spontaneous human combustion. Okay, so here's my results list. I can't get to the citation from this list. I'll have to click on one of these. And now on the right, way over here, or left, I don't know what you're seeing. There's this option right here for cite. So we click that, and we are being very careful to choose the right one. It gives us Brazilian standards. It gives us Chicago. It gives us Harvard Australian. We don't want none of that. That's none of that. We don't want none of that. We want this one, MLA, Modern Language Association. We want this one. So we take this and we copy it and we paste it into our Works Cited page, making sure that it's the same font and the same size as the rest of our paper. And it is in hanging indent format. So what happens here, real quick, little word wizardry here. So I have this, and I need to indent those bottom 2 lines over. Bottom 2 lines. How do I do that? If I come down here to the second line, and I click Tab, which is normally my indent key, what happens? It moves the whole thing. I don't want to move the whole thing. I want to move only the bottom 2 lines. How you do that is you have to tell Word, you have to force Word to break up that line. You have to tell Word that that's a new line, it's not part of the previous line, don't keep them together. The way you do that is come to the end of this first line, right here, and hit Return or Enter. That's it. Now Word understands that this second line is not connected to the new one. And when you hit Tab, it only tabs this over. These other ones here, you don't have to go to the end of line again. You can just tab them over as well, and they will work just fine. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, great. That's how we should look. Make sure there's nothing wrong here. Again, when you're using EasyBib or Sonnet Citation Machine or the database citation helper that we just used, it's very, very important that you go in here and make sure that this citation is correct, because sometimes it's screwed up. Let's see. Sometimes if there's no publisher, it will put in P. Sometimes if there's no date, it'll put in D. We don't want that. Just take those out. Just take those out. So at the end, when you're done with your citations, when you're done with your Works Cited page, it should look something like this. In alphabetical order, hanging indent, double-spaced, including all sources that you have. Again, a minimum of 3 for this paper. And then your in-text citation should look something like these examples here. Some of you will have sources that I haven't covered here, and if you do, go back to OWL Purdue or go through our textbook again, and it will give you all sorts of examples. Books and periodicals and electronic sources. I mean, this even has YouTube videos and tweets and comment. I mean, okay, hang on, hold on. I will not allow you to cite the comment section of any website ever in existence. Because you know why. Because the comment section is just the darkness of humanity. So we are not citing comment sections ever, never, forever, never, ever, nevermore, nevermore. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas perched above my chamber door. Nevermore. Nevermore. We're not doing that. Show off my Poe a little bit. I think that's about how much time I got. Oh God, that's a long one. That's it. I can't keep you on here anymore. That's it. I'm done. Pay attention to deadlines. Essay is due Saturday by midnight. I'm sure there's something else, but I'll send you an email if there is. So goodbye. I love you. I miss you, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.